Welcome back, everybody. Now that kids are heading back to school, they'll be more at risk for certain viruses, so make sure their vaccines are updated. The good thing is you can multitask and get it done while shopping for groceries and school supplies. Here to keep us on our shot schedule, please welcome back H-E-B pharmacist Gina Eubank.
Hi, good morning.
Let me start off with, I'm surprised at how many people still don't realize that you can get your vaccines at the pharmacy there at the grocery store.
I know, it's absolutely shocking, and they'll go wait in a doctor's office and schedule an appointment, and it's more expensive. And at H-E-B we take insurances, so lots of times your insurance will cover it, and also we'll give you a printout. You can submit that, and we vaccinate for the flu vaccine age 7 and above. And with it being back to school, children, in your regular grade school, of course, they're going to be hugging on each other and carrying on, so they'll be getting it. College students, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you remember this? It's like, what are you chewing? Gum? Do you have any more? It's my last piece. You can have half.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what you do with your best friend when you're kids. Speaking of flu shot, H1N1 in particular, there are lots of people who may have wished they had gotten that vaccine.
Yes, because the statistics came out from the CDC for last year. From April 2009 until April 2010, 61 million people had the flu.
Wow.
And, a lot of people, there was a lot of controversy last year where people were like, H1N1, it's too new, I'm not going to risk it, there's no way. Well, the CDC, they're like, look, this isn't our first rodeo. It's our job to make sure we protect the world so there's not a pandemic outbreak. So this year, it's an H1N1 plus the flu vaccine combined together.
Okay.
So it's actually 3 strains, and one of them is the H1N1, and one is the influenza B, and then there's the H3N2. But it's just a one-shot deal, and you can go to H-E-B and get it. But the main thing I want people to focus on: get your college students done now, because I have so many parents that bring them in over Thanksgiving, and they're like, oh, I've got to get it,
or they're already sick.
Right, they're already sick, and that brings up an interesting point, because you can be infected with the flu vaccine and not have any symptoms for a full day. And then you can still infect people for 5 to 7 days.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you can have other factors as a college student, where you might stay out a little late, do a few extra activities, or you could say I have a headache because of that, chills, and it could be the flu.
Right.
Definitely.
And a lot of people can weather that storm, but your point is, why go through that? And there are a lot of people we know that can't. They end up dying because of it.
Yes. Oh, the other thing the CDC came out with was over 12,000 people last year died from the flu, and the average is 36,000 pass from the flu, including the elderly and all of that. And we have a vaccine to protect people. So, get it early. The vaccine is in H-E-B now.
Okay.
And we can do age 7 and above, so just call your local H-E-B, make sure an immunizer is on duty. And, we also have a rewards card where, you can get $5 off your flu shot. It costs $5 to enroll, but if you have 3 people to get it, it's a no-brainer.
Save money.
Yeah, you can
All right. The other vaccine is for meningitis, which we know can be deadly, a certain form of meningitis.
Yes. Meningitis, it's the inflammation of the membrane surrounding the brain and the spinal cord, and it can be bacterial or viral. And it is a vaccine that's required to get into school and college, and it's a one-time vaccine, and we give it.
You almost said it's a one-shot deal, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. It is a one-shot deal.
Yeah.
It is a one-shot deal, and people don't realize how life-threatening this can be.
Yeah, and it moves quickly once it gets into the body.
Very quickly, 24 to 48 hours, you can be in serious. So as long as you follow the schedule of the school, you're fine. And I have so many people that rush in right before their kids are ready to go to college, and they're like, oh, she can't get in.
Yeah.
So they think of all the other things, like do they have their dorm supplies and book money,
a brand new comforter.
Right. Exactly. How does their dorm look? But are they going to stay healthy?
Yeah. So that's the Menactra vaccine.
Yes,
you said.
the Menactra.
One time you get that, and that's
one
it.
time.
Okay. And ages, what is good for that?
11 to 55.
Okay. The other is the tetanus shot. How many of us remember getting a tetanus shot? Okay. How many of you probably need another one? Yeah, no one's raising their hand. Yeah. Okay. So the other confusion a lot of us have is that you've gotten it once, but is that the one you're supposed to get twice or one time or every 10 years or what?
Every 10 years you're supposed to get one. And this is the interesting thing, because if you cut yourself, because it's outside. The spores are outside everywhere. And so if you cut yourself or you end up in the emergency room and they ask you, when was your last tetanus shot? And you go, you're getting it.
Yeah.
So, but if you know a date like that, then you're golden. And, go ahead and get it, be prepared, and that way you don't have to dash to the emergency room, sit there forever, because, you don't want to end up with lockjaw or,
Yeah,
any
and tetanus is for what? And go ahead and give us the rest of what the symptoms might be.
Tetanus, it's lockjaw, it's a bacterial infection. It's very, very severe, and it's rare that people get it now because there is such a vaccine for it. And you go anywhere, if you cut yourself, you'll get it. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, Gina, thank you very much for the information. And you're right, a lot of the stuff is required, some of it's preventive. So if you can find an H-E-B pharmacy near you by going to HEB.com. Just click the pharmacy link. And, of course, again, while you're doing your grocery shopping, everything else, just go on by there and get your vaccines. If you're feeling tired or run down, your issue might be deeper than just a poor night's sleep. After the break, an all-natural way to feel better and why our doctor says you should accept no substitutes when it comes to how you're treated.